Goski enters the rehabilitation center not as someone seeking redemption, but as a man who has already lost the argument with his own life. His last cigarette burns between his fingers as if it were the final proof that he still controls something, anything. The moment he steps inside, that illusion collapses. His hair is shaved without ceremony, not as punishment, but as a statement. Whatever he once believed himself to be no longer matters here. Pride is removed first, because pride is what addicts cling to most fiercely when everything else is gone. This place does not resemble a prison, yet it is harsher than one. The doors are open. No one is locked inside. You can leave at any moment. That freedom, however, is precisely what makes the system brutal. Inside the center exists a distorted hierarchy that mirrors the outside world in its cruelest form. Newcomers eat on the floor, do the filthiest work, and are treated as disposable. They are not called patients, but burdens. Those who survive long enough may climb higher, but the rules are unforgiving. One mistake sends you back to the bottom, stripped again of dignity and status. At this stage, Goski does not resist. Resistance would require belief, and belief is something he has already lost. Years of addiction have hollowed him out, leaving behind a man who reacts rather than chooses. His past explains much, but excuses nothing. A violent father, a household ruled by fear, and constant humiliation taught him early that worth is conditional and easily revoked. Drugs did not create his collapse. They merely finished what neglect began. What makes Goski dangerous to himself is not weakness, but indifference. He no longer expects anything from the future, and therefore feels no obligation to protect it. Each day blends into the next, a cycle of degradation that confirms what society already assumes about him. He internalizes their judgment. He becomes the role they assign. When people are treated like trash long enough, they eventually stop pretending they are anything else. Yet, even at the lowest point, the story does not ask for sympathy. It demands honesty. Goski is not portrayed as misunderstood or secretly noble. He is irresponsible, selfish, and unreliable. The film refuses to romanticize his downfall, because doing so would betray the truth. Change cannot begin while lies are still comforting. This is the man at the bottom. Not a hero in hiding, not a champion waiting to be discovered, but a human being reduced to instinct and habit. There is no promise of salvation here, no inspirational speech, no sudden awakening, only the quiet, suffocating reality of a life that has run out of excuses. And yet, within that emptiness, something fragile remains. Not hope, the kind that only appears when a person has nothing left to protect except the chance to begin again. The first crack in Goski's collapse does not come from discipline or fear, but from love. When he learns that his girlfriend is pregnant, the news strikes him with a force stronger than any withdrawal pain. For a brief moment, the fog lifts. The future, which had always been an empty word, suddenly carries weight. He does not think about changing himself for society or for approval, but for a child who has not yet entered the world and has already changed it. Yet love alone is not salvation. Goski wants to become better, but wanting is not the same as acting. Addiction has trained him to postpone responsibility, to believe that tomorrow is always available. He continues to relapse. He continues to lie, to disappear, to disappoint. Each broken promise chips away at the fragile trust his girlfriend still holds. Her family sees him clearly, without romance or illusion. To them, he is a danger, not a partner. Their rejection is not cruel. It is protective. The pressure intensifies. Conflicts grow violent. Authority figures close in. Goski's world narrows until it becomes a single, underground room. damp and airless, where time seems suspended. Inside that space, love and self-destruction coexist uneasily. He tells himself he will quit soon. He tells himself he still has time. These lies feel harmless, but they are lethal. The turning point does not arrive with dramatic confrontation. It arrives quietly, wrapped in finality. A close friend, someone who shared the same habits and illusions, dies from an overdose. There is no warning, no farewell, no meaning to be extracted. One moment a voice exists, the next it does not. Goski stands in the presence of that absence and understands something terrifying. This is not a story with endless chances. This path has an ending, and it is not distant. Fear, for the first time, breaks through denial. Not fear of punishment, but fear of disappearance. The realization is brutal in its simplicity. If nothing changes, he will vanish without having lived, without having protected anyone, without having mattered. The child he imagined will grow up with a memory instead of a father. Love alone cannot stop that outcome. When Goski finally asks for help, he does not do so with confidence or courage. He does it exhausted, frightened, and stripped of pride. The words are simple, almost shameful. Save me. In that moment, awakening is not enlightenment, but surrender. He stops pretending he is in control. He accepts that survival requires assistance, structure, and pain. This is the moment where the story pivots. Not because Goski has become strong, but because he has finally become honest. He does not promise greatness. He does not claim redemption. He only admits that continuing as he is will destroy everything he has left. Love opened the door. Loss pushed him through it. And on the other side stands the first real decision of his life: to face suffering instead of fleeing from it. Rehabilitation does not welcome Goski with comfort or encouragement. It greets him with exhaustion. From the first day, his body betrays him. Muscles weakened by years of abuse fail under basic demands. Short runs leave him gasping. Simple tasks drain him completely. When others move forward, he collapses, coughing, trembling, sometimes tasting blood. There is no applause here, no reassurance that effort will be rewarded. The system is indifferent. It demands participation, not belief. For the first time, Goski learns that survival is not about feeling ready, but about showing up anyway. Pain becomes his constant companion. Not the dramatic kind that announces itself loudly, but the slow, grinding ache that tests patience more than courage. Each morning begins with resistance, not from the rules, but from his own mind. Every instinct urges escape. He could leave. The doors are open. No one would stop him. That freedom, once comforting, now becomes a challenge. If he walks out, the responsibility is entirely his. Staying means choosing discomfort without guarantees. Leaving means returning to a certainty that ends badly. Between those options, he remains. Progress is humiliatingly slow. While others advance, Goski repeats the same failures. He falls behind, again and again. Yet something subtle changes. He no longer negotiates with the pain. He stops asking how long it will last. He focuses only on the next movement, the next breath, the next step. At night, when the building quiets and no one is watching, he trains alone, push after push, step after step. Not to become impressive, but to become durable. Discipline begins not as motivation, but as routine. What the film makes clear is this: rebirth is not poetic. It is inconvenient. It interferes with comfort and exposes weakness daily. Goski does not feel inspired. He feels tired. He feels frustrated. But he also feels present, For the first time in years, his actions align with his intentions, even when those intentions are small. That alignment, repeated often enough, begins to rebuild trust within himself. Pain, in this phase, is not an enemy to be conquered. It is information. It teaches him limits, and more importantly, how limits can be extended without being broken. Each time he stands up after collapsing, he learns something essential. Strength is not the absence of suffering. It is the willingness to carry it without letting it decide the outcome. There is no moment where Goski suddenly becomes strong. There is only accumulation. Days stacked on days, effort layered over effort. The body adapts slowly, the mind even slower. Yet together, they move forward. This is the price of rebirth. Not a single sacrifice, but a long series of quiet decisions to endure what once felt impossible. And through that endurance, a new version of Goski begins to form, not built on hope, but on proof. An unexpected opportunity accelerates this shift. Assigned to clean a swimming pool, Goski is given access to water after hours. At first, he barely survives a few laps. His lungs burn. His arms feel useless. Yet something about the rhythm of swimming speaks to him. In the water, there is no past and no audience. Only movement, breath, and resistance. It becomes a place where effort feels honest. Swimming leads to cycling. Cycling leads to running. Without realizing it, Goski begins training like an athlete, not because he believes he is one, but because the routine demands it. His first competition arrives almost by accident. He enters a small triathlon with no expectations. He finishes long after everyone else has gone home. There is no crowd, no recognition, no reward. Yet the moment he crosses the finish line, something shifts inside him. For the first time, he does not feel shame about being last. He feels relief. He has followed a process from start to finish without quitting. That alone is victory. This is where identity begins to form, not through words, but through repeated proof. Goski no longer sees himself as someone trying to escape his past. He becomes someone moving towards something specific. A goal takes shape, bold and unreasonable. An Ironman-level triathlon. The distance is extreme. The demand is brutal, but it offers structure, direction, and meaning. For someone who once lived minute to minute, that structure becomes salvation. Then reality intervenes. A severe accident leaves Goski injured and unable to walk. Doctors speak carefully, but the message is clear. His athletic path may be over. The old narrative threatens to return. The idea that every attempt ends in collapse. But Goski responds differently now. He does not rebel or despair. He accepts the condition, then works within it. He trains from a hospital bed. He relearns how to stand, then how to walk, then how to move forward again. What defines this phase is not ambition, but ownership. Goski stops asking who he might become and starts acting as someone responsible for his own trajectory. He does not claim redemption. He earns trust through behavior. A new identity is forged, not in triumph, but in quiet persistence. The man who once ran from pain now organizes his life around confronting it. And in doing so, he becomes someone entirely different from the person who first entered that center. Not because he erased the past, but because he built something stronger on top of it. As Goski approaches the greatest challenge of his life, the true battle shifts inward. Physical preparation, no matter how extreme, is no longer the central obstacle. The real enemy is familiar, persistent, and invisible. It is the voice that has followed him through every collapse, whispering that effort is temporary and failure inevitable. This inner demon does not shout. It reasons. It reminds him of past relapses, broken promises, and moments of weakness, presenting surrender as a form of relief rather than defeat. The race he prepares for is unforgiving. The distance is increased beyond reason, stretching the limits of human endurance. Friends urge caution. Supporters express concern. Even those who believe in him fear the consequences. Goski listens, but he does not retreat. He understands something they cannot fully grasp. This challenge is not about proving strength to others. It is about confronting the part of himself that still believes he does not deserve to finish what he starts. On race day, the body begins to fail long before the course is complete. Fatigue accumulates. Pain sharpens. Each step becomes a negotiation between movement and collapse. As the hours pass, hallucinations emerge, pulling memories from the darkest corners of his past. Faces of loss, moments of regret, paths he once followed that ended in destruction. The inner demon uses these images as weapons, offering escape, familiarity, and the false comfort of returning to what is known. Goski reaches the point where instinct alone cannot carry him forward. His legs shake uncontrollably. His vision blurs. The temptation to stop becomes overwhelming, not because he lacks strength, but because stopping would silence the conflict. This is the precise moment the film exposes its core truth. Endurance is not about suppressing fear. It is about acknowledging it without obeying it. In the midst of exhaustion, a single image cuts through the chaos. His daughter, waiting at the finish line, not as a symbol of victory, but as a reminder of responsibility. He does not imagine applause or celebration. He imagines presence, being there, staying, protecting. That image shifts his focus away from pain and toward purpose. The inner demon does not disappear. It is confronted. Goski recognizes it for what it is, a survival mechanism that once protected him, but now threatens to undo everything he has built. He does not destroy it through force. He overrides it through choice. Step by step, movement by movement, he refuses to negotiate with despair. This phase of the story is not about speed or dominance. It is about defiance. Goski continues forward not because the pain fades, but because quitting no longer offers relief. In facing the inner demon, he proves something essential. Recovery is not the absence of temptation. It is the ability to stand in its presence and still move in the direction you have chosen. When Goski finally crosses the finish line, the moment is not explosive. There is no dramatic celebration, no triumphant roar. His body is beyond exhaustion, his movements stripped down to instinct. What remains is clarity. He has arrived not as a conqueror of others, but as someone who refused to abandon himself. The victory does not lie in the position he finishes, but in the fact that he finishes at all. This achievement cannot be measured by time alone. It is the result of years layered upon years, of countless ordinary days where nothing spectacular happened except the decision to continue. Goski understands this better than anyone. He knows how close he came to disappearing entirely, how easily this ending could have been replaced by silence. Standing at the finish line, he is not reliving the race. He is acknowledging the distance between who he was and who he has become. The film is careful not to suggest that triumph erases the past. Goski's addiction does not vanish with a medal. His history does not dissolve under applause. What changes is his relationship with that past. It no longer defines him. It informs him. He carries it as evidence, not as a sentence. The scars remain, but they no longer dictate his direction. In the days that follow, there is no illusion of permanent victory. Discipline must continue. Structure must remain. Goski does not celebrate recklessly because he understands that recovery is not a destination, it is a practice. Each day requires the same commitment that brought him to the starting line in the first place. The race proved what was possible. Life will demand that proof repeatedly. What truly elevates this ending is its restraint. The story does not promise that everyone who suffers will win a championship. It promises something more grounded and more honest. When a person finds a reason strong enough to face discomfort, fear loses its authority. Strength is not granted to the exceptional. It is built through consistency, responsibility, and the courage to begin again after failure. For Goski, the finish line represents reconciliation with his body, with his past, with the people he once failed. Most importantly, with himself. He no longer seeks validation through destruction or extremes. He seeks alignment between intention and action. That alignment, once achieved, becomes its own reward. Victory, in this story, is not about standing above others. It is about standing firmly within one's own life. Goski steps beyond the finish line, carrying no illusions of perfection, only the certainty that he can choose his direction, even when the road is long and unforgiving. And that certainty, earned through suffering and discipline, is the most durable triumph of all.